Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto 2 Blue Vortex discussion. Today, I want to talk to you guys about a topic I've seen many of you guys bring up in the comment section that I had to bring to you guys' attention in one of the videos before we close out this month's discussion with the videos edited by the channel editors and move back to a more balanced mix of lore videos instead of just chapter discussions and doing fan theories. So down in the comment section, I've seen a lot of you guys have been worried that Sarada is in danger of not just ruining herself for Hokage, but she's in danger of being on Kawaki's radar now that Boruto's back in the village. And I want to say I actually agree with this line of thinking a lot, and I do think there's foreshadowing here to actually support this. If we go back to that ever so divisive and polarizing Boruto chapter from Boruto Naruto Next Generations, we saw the groundwork being set up for this, and we saw how this might play out. Back in Boruto Naruto Next Generations chapter 58, we saw Sarada and Boruto on the same side during the squabble they had regarding the training Team 7 should follow. Boruto and Sarada agreed to do chakra controlled training, basically traditional ninja training, and were the ones who actually ended up getting attacked. Mitsuki didn't hesitate to go along with Kawaki's proposal of having to go with combat training. That was our clue that Mitsuki would be siding with Kawaki, at least temporarily, because he didn't resist Kawaki's course of action. He embraced it, just like he would have done if it was something that Boruto had suggested, just like how right now he's highly devoted to Kawaki because he thinks that he's Boruto. Then we fast forward to the omnipotence being casted. We see Sarada once again siding with Boruto and Mitsuki siding with Kawaki, but this time it was due to the shinjutsu that Mitsuki was under. Sarada was defending Boruto out of loyalty and Mitsuki was trying to kill him, and as we saw in the new chapter, the bloodlust was so overwhelming that even someone who isn't just an animal like Kawaki but he's an entire jungle had to tell Mitsuki to cool it because the bloodlust that he was feeling off of Mitsuki was so tight that Kawaki was finding it hard to breathe. We saw the signs that this was going to be how things would split. In the new chapter, she's making it a point to defend Boruto and is openly vocal about it, and we see it's implied she's been openly vocal for a while now, but now that Boruto is back in Konoha, she's the one in danger. Shikamaru orders were to defeat the Claw Grimes and then to handle Boruto, but if Sarada, or rather when Sarada inevitably makes her move to defend Boruto, that's gonna raise some eyebrows. The line in the manga that many people inside the village want Boruto dead wasn't dropped by mistake. The court of public opinion is already set in stone. He's a Hokage killer. In their minds, Boruto was the boy who they saw in the store and they were scared of him, not Kawaki. Boruto is the boy who Shikadai told that there were rumors about him and a lot of them were correct, and it made people scared for their safety. Boruto has now killed the 7th Hokage and run away with Sasuke Uchiha, the man who was once a wanted criminal and started the last ninja war on the side of the Akatsuki, and a lot of people still hold that against Sasuke in universe. Sarada not only was openly defending Boruto's name after such a vile act was done, but now potentially fighting alongside him against the Claw Grimes, which would be easy to write off as a lesser two evil, since you could argue she's trying to defend the village, but also very likely she's going to end up defending Boruto when Konoha Shinobi try to kill him after the battle, or even go so far as to help him escape. It's going to put her at major odds with the villagers of the very village she wants to be Hokage over one day. That brings us to Mitsuki versus Sarada. That fight stands a good chance of happening. Last time when Mitsuki went into his sage power and was about to fight Boruto, Sarada could only beg him to stop, but this time she's going to have to fight Mitsuki and stop him, especially if Mitsuki tries to launch some type of a sneak attack while Boruto's fighting Kawaki and Code and his attention is diverted. Just like the training match was philosophically Sarada and Boruto versus Kawaki and Mitsuki, it's going to be the same thing, but this time it stands a chance of being a real physical confrontation. That fight's gonna raise eyebrows if it happens, and that will be her giving Kawaki a lane to directly eliminate her. Just looking at the laws of probability, Kawaki likely knows that she's been telling Shikamaru and Konohamaru that they have it wrong about Boruto, but for obvious reasons, there was no way he could actually kill her. Team 7 is locked down at that hideout and they can't go on missions, so they have no way to stage a fake death without it being suspicious. However, now that Boruto's back in the village, Ada's alliance with Boruto's now broken. She doesn't have to keep her promise to never help Konoha track Boruto now. because her requirements were met and Boruto crossed the Rubicon line that she drew, which was to never return to Konoha, because if he does, she will be assisting Konoha. Sarada just happens to have been talking to Ada about the shinjutsu and her having her real memories. That's intel she's going to be sharing now, most likely, particularly with Kawaki, because she has no reason to protect her anymore and she has every incentive to try and help Kawaki now to get closer to him. You know that likely drove Kawaki insane when Ada refused to help him track down Boruto. She's going to be willing to help him do so now, and she's going to try and make up to him by giving him the info he wants, as well as info he didn't even know that he wanted, like this info on Sarada. If Kawaki doesn't know that Sarada was immune to Ada's shinjutsu, Ada will likely tell him that now, and at that point, if Kawaki hasn't already been thinking of a good excuse to get rid of Sarada, he now have Ada on his side to back up any crazy story that he comes up with in the process now. Sarada is definitely playing a very dangerous game right now. Things are not going to get any easier for her either, because she's risking becoming the black sheep of the village, and as the Japanese expression goes, the nail that sticks out often gets hammered. Sarada has to walk a very fine line right now, because if she truly wants to help Boruto, her best chance to do that is from within the village and without making herself stand out much more than she has, where she becomes that nail that gets hammered in. Ada has already given her a potential path on how to actually do so, which is instead of trying to get people to realize their memories are wrong and force them to see the truth that the shinjutsu is going to make them say is a falsity. It doesn't matter if you use the Yamanaka clan ability to read memories or Sarada shows it via genjutsu, the shinjutsu will override all that. Her best bet is to try to create new memories and new impressions on people in order to help Boruto. We got foreshadowing of this in Boruto Naruto Next Generation's chapter 80. Remember when Sasuke questioned if Boruto was really Naruto's son? He also dropped a line in that conversation saying that Naruto had to overcome hatred and prove everyone that he was indeed worthy of becoming Hokage. Boruto is now in that position just like Naruto was, but even worse because he ran away. Granted, he had no choice, because if he stayed, he'd be executed, but the facts were still the facts. That's the predicament Boruto finds himself in. Naruto was accused of something that he couldn't help from happening and had to shoulder the hatred for, which is everyone blamed him for the death of the beloved fourth Hokage. People resented him for it, they treated him badly for it, and in some cases even insulted him for it because of their misguided hatred towards Naruto. Boruto is in a similar boat. He too is accused of killing the Hokage. This time, the seventh Hokage, who ironically was the very same child the village once hated. The cycle of the beloved father dying and the innocent son being hated wrongfully for the death of said father has continued from Minato to Naruto, now to Boruto. In Boruto's case, it's even worse because he's viewed as the outsider who came in, won the trust of the Hokage, who went against the very advisors and the concerns of the villagers and trusted him, and Boruto killed said Hokage and ran away. That hatred has only grown in the years since then. Boruto now has to do what Naruto did, which is through his actions prove himself worthy to the village, and due to how high of a crime he committed, it might be an Itachi situation where he's hated. And just as Naruto after the fourth ninja war made Sasuke angry by telling people that Itachi was the one who got the Edo Tensei undone and gave the alliance its real chance to win the war, but he stopped short of telling the truth about the Uchiha massacre, which we learned in the Sasuke story of Sunrise, which that scene was not animated, and I've discussed it in another video for those of you guys who are interested. The same might hold true for Boruto. Sarada might have to be the mouthpiece for Boruto, as Boruto does things to benefit the village. To use a wrestling reference, she might have to pull a Paul Heyman to his Roman Reigns, be his public mouthpiece that is speaking for him and talking him up, even when it comes with hatred coming her way, until Boruto, just like Roman Reigns, is finally able to get into position to do his own talking and be the one to speak about accomplishments made on his journey. In order to do that, Sarada's got to be extremely careful, because it runs opposite of what Kawaki was trying to have set up for Boruto, where all the hate was directed at Boruto, and it would make it easier to have Boruto killed, because he knows Boruto will lower his guard and not use his full power against the people from the village he once calls home and people from the village he once called friends. That could lead to Kawaki targeting her. Sarada is in a chess match against Kawaki and Ada is that wild card, because Ada now has every right to blow up the situation because Boruto broke her treaty with her. It doesn't matter why he broke it. The fact remains he still broke her treaty. So now every option is on the table. It's gonna be really interesting to see how things play out from here on out. My question to you guys is a simple one, which is, how do you see the situation playing out between Sarada, Mitsuki, and Kawaki? Do you think that Sarada can do the very thing that Ada told her would be required to help Boruto by changing people's opinion of Boruto via new impressions and not trying to force them to remember a truth they won't recognize because of the shinjutsu? While you think that over, click here to watch these other Naruto Explained videos.